Hello everybody, this is Vinayak and welcome back to Voxfor Lifetime, your go-to source for Linux tutorials and server management tips brought to you by Voxfor.com, your trusted provider for lifetime VPS, dedicated servers, managed WordPress hosting, monthly VPS plans, and lifetime web hosting based on cPanel. In today's video, we will explore Netcat command, which is one of the most powerful networking tools in Linux. We will cover its usage, features, and practical examples. Netcat, also known as NC, is a powerful networking utility that can be used for port scanning, file transfers, remote access, and even setting up simple web servers. It is also often called the Swiss Army knife of networking. Netcat command is also used for doing port scanning, file transfers, network troubleshooting, and as a simple chat server. The port scanning is a feature which should only be used ethically and on your own servers or the servers which you have the permission to be scanned for such things. Moving on to the file transfers, you can quickly send and receive files between systems. And for the network troubleshooting, it is just acting like a ping command. You can also use the netcat command as a simple chat server like WhatsApp or a one-on-one chat messaging service. Moving further, let's look at how we can install netcat command on our Linux machine. To install it on the Ubuntu or Debian based distributions, proceed further and copy the command sudo apt install netcat. I will copy it, go to terminal, paste it and press enter. Since netcat is already installed on our server, I will move forward and now use the command nc -h to check all the available options which are there with the netcat command. I will copy it, go to terminal, paste it and press enter. We can use all of these options which are present in our Linux distribution right now and output it in front of us. Moving further, let's look at the basic syntax for netcat command. The basic syntax is nc, which stands for netcat space options space hostname space port. This means that if I want to do the netcat command using some specific options and for a specific server, I can specify them using the command nc space -i -p -v -z -u space the IP address of our server and the specified port, for example 21 for FTP, 22 for SSH, etc. The L command is used for listen mode. In this, the server or the requested node will be using the request as an incoming method, and for the P command it will specify which port will the netcat command be acquiring for establishing and managing the connections. Next, if we use the -v command, it means that it will output the detailed information about the connection process, which is also called the debug mode. Similarly, we can use the -z to specify zero IO mode, which is used for scanning and checking if ports are open or not without sending any data. We can also use the -u command, which involves UDP protocol instead of the TCP protocol, because by default, netcat command works with the TCP based protocol. Basic example for netcat command is nc space -v space our domain name space our port 80. I will copy this command to check and establish a connection to HTTP port for the domain example.com. We'll copy it, go to terminal, paste it and press enter. We have now connected to the port 80, which is a web server port for Apache, Nginx, Lightspeed or any another web server which can be used to serve web pages. And we have got the IP address as well along with the domain name and the protocol used to connect and transmit these data. Similarly, if we want to listen on a specific port, for netcat command, we can use the -l and then specify the port using the -p command. I will copy it, go to terminal, and just like this, you can see on the terminal, we have got request back from our server with the specified web page. I will cancel this by pressing Ctrl C. Now, I will specify the new command, that is to listen on a specific port on my server and press enter. My server is now able to listen on port 1234 for the netcat command. To verify this, I can create another session from a remote desktop or another server for my VPS IP address and the specified port, and I can be able to transmit the data, do a chats or many other things on this server. Moving forward, let's look at how we can use netcat command to do port scanning. If we want to do port scanning, we have other options as well, but port scanning using nmap command is not that effective, which can be achieved using the netcat command. For example, the basic syntax for port scanning command is nc space hyphen zv space our IP address and port. For example, I will proceed further and copy the command nc space hyphen zv space our domain name or IP address, and the port will be 22. That is a SSH port. I will copy this command, go to terminal, paste it and press enter. But since our previous connection is still active, I will cut it. Now I will navigate further and paste the command and press enter. It will initiate a TCP or UDP based connection to the domain name example.com, and once it is established, we will get back the result as connection established. It may take some time. Similarly, if we want to scan for a range of ports, for example, I want to scan from port number 0 to port number 443, I will use nc space hyphen zv space our domain name or IP address space the range of ports. I will move forward and copy this command, go to terminal, paste it and press enter. This command will start exploring the ports from port number 20 to port number 80. It can take some time, so I would recommend you to wait for it because netcat command is usually slow if it is not configured properly for the destination servers. As we can see that there are the number of ports which we have specified over here from port number 20 to port number 80. You have to make sure that the IP address and firewalls are allowing the connections, or at least a firewall is enabled to protect your servers. If you are using Voxfor servers, by default they are very secure for you to do anything on them, and they cannot be hacked or there will not be any issues via a DDoS attacks. Similarly, if we look at how to install and use the netcat command for initiating a chat server. To set up a chat server, we will use the command nc space hyphen l space a port. I will copy it, go to terminal, clear it, paste it. Instead of port, I will specify a specific port number, for example 67, and press enter. Now I will have to connect from our client side and specify our server IP of host and the same port. I will use the command nc space our server IP space IP. I'll initiate a new connection for our machine. I'll duplicate it and use the command nc space IP address. In this case, we are on a local host. I will type 127.0.0.1 space our port number, that is 67, and press enter. Now, if I type hi, you can see that hi was present over there. Let me split this and I will type this is a test message. You can see the messages are being broadcasted over our server listening IP. But if I try to send a message from here and press enter, we can also see that it is being redirected to the client side, which means it is a two-way communication. Let's look at how we can use netcat command for troubleshooting tool. First, we will close the command by pressing Ctrl C. The connection has been terminated on both sides. Now I will close one window. I'll move forward, close it by this. And now let's copy the command nc space hyphen zv space the port or destination IP address along with port number. I will proceed further and copy it, go to terminal, paste it. In port, we have to specify our port number, and in host name or IP address, we can specify anything. For example, I will do 127.0.0.1. Since I'm not having a IP address which is remote and allocated to us, I am not going to use network troubleshooting. Or if you want, we can take 1.1.1.1. This is the IP address of Cloudflare's DNS service, and I'll specify the port 22 and press enter. If there were any issues the output would be present in our terminal's console. But this can take some time as there is a timeout which is specified by these commands. Moving further, let's look at how we can create a simple web server using the netcat command. To do this, we will first create a sample HTML file named index.html in our terminal by typing nano space index.html and press enter. Now let's write some HTML code very easily. You know the basic structure for HTML code. I will close the header tag and now create a body and type, hi, this is a test HTML page. This is the basic structure for a HTML page. I would recommend you to learn HTML if you have not learned yet. Now I will exit this nano editor by typing Ctrl X, Y and enter. Now we will proceed further and serve the HTML page using the command echo -e. I will copy it, go to terminal, paste it and press enter. Since our server name is not specified, I will proceed further and first of all use the port as 80. Also, we have to make sure that the server name is correct. I'll move forward and run the command. Our netcat command is now serving the index.html file over the port 80. Similarly, if we want to reverse the shell connections with netcat command, I can see and type nc-l-p space our port along with the bash command which we want to execute. I will copy it, go to terminal, paste it and press enter. There are some other alternatives to the netcat command such as nmap, socat and ssh. Also, you should take some network security considerations while using netcat because if you use netcat command to scan for ports, which is a unethical case if you don't have permission for the target server, it can land you in some trouble. You can get some permission denied errors, port already in use error, or connection refuse or timeout. If you get the permission denied error, I would recommend you to check if you have given proper permissions. You can use sudo command as well before applying the netcat command, which will require you and enable root access for the command. If you get a permission denied error, use sudo with your netcat command. It will grant sudo or root level privileges to your existing or current netcat command which you are going to execute. If you see a error port already in use the command lsoff to check if the same port is being specified or occupied by any another process. If yes, either change the port or terminate the existing process. Thirdly, if you see that connection refuse or timeout, I would recommend you to check the network connectivity. That's it for today's guide on using the netcat command. We covered installation, port scanning, and chat servers with advanced features like reserve shell. If you found this video helpful, subscribe and share it with others in the Linux community. For more tutorials, check out our blog linked in the description. And remember, whether you need lifetime VPS, dedicated servers, managed WordPress hosting, monthly VPS plans, or lifetime web hosting based on cPanel, Voxfor has you covered. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.